Hunter Hodovic, thank you so much for the super chat. Hunter Hodovic, really do appreciate you, man. Can't thank you enough for your generosity. Thank you so much, Hunter Hodovic. My guy, Hunter Hodovic, writes, what's up, T? Haven't been able to make a live stream in a while, so here you go. I really appreciate that, man. Making up for lost time, man. Nothing like it. Really do appreciate you, Hunter Hodovic. My guy Hunter also says, question for you. Off the top of your head, what 3 or 4 tight ends are you keeping on the main roster at this point? We've added a lot there, and it's hard to keep up. Love what you do. So, that is a great question. And you know what? That's a perfect segue, Hunter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn everyone's attention to the roster. And you can follow along if you so choose. I'll give you a second. Pull up the Washington Football Team website on your device. All right. So if you want to do that, you can. I've already got it pulled up on mine. And so it's WashingtonFootball.com /team /player-roster /. Or you could just go to the Washington Football Team or WashingtonFootball.com, and then at the top, click on the link that says team. And it'll take you straight to the roster. Then what I want you to do is go over to the position tab, click it, and it will sort it alphabetically. So it will sort all the positions in alphabetical order, like center, then cornerback, then defensive line or DB or D end or whatever. However they have them listed, it'll show up in that order. And we're going to go through this list, and you are more than welcome to join me as I do this, okay? But this is what I'm going to do. And Hunter Hodovic, my guy Hunter, had the perfect question to segue us into a topic that I want to tackle tonight anyway. So we're going to do that right now. I want to go through this exercise. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my pencil, and I'm going to pull out my little pad, and I'm going to put a tally down in my notes for every guy that I think is fully capable. I'm not saying they're going to make the roster, and there are some guys that are guarantees. And I'm going to circle those guys on my tally marks. But we're going to put down a tally mark for every guy that I think is going to make this football team or has a chance to make this football team. And we're going to have some that are definites, that are locks, okay? And I bet you this number gets to at least 60. Only 53 can make the roster. I would be shocked if this list doesn't exceed 60 and get to 65, but I think it's going to get to at least 60. This isn't a problem that we've had in the past. We couldn't find 60 guys on a 90-man roster that are guys that we look at and say, he should be here. We haven't been able to do that in ages. Let's go through this list, all right? So first guy that you should see if you're following along is Keith Ishmael, okay? Let's put a tally mark for Keith. They just drafted him. They like him. He's depth. He's not going anywhere. He's young. He's going to continue to compete. Tyler Lawson, no. Chase Rouillet, that's a definite. And what I'm going to do with Chase is I'm going to circle him because I know he's not going anywhere, okay? No, he's not going anywhere. So you got Chase Rouillet. So those are your 3 centers. Those guys are all classified as centers. Kendall Fuller. He's a lock. I'm going to circle him. No, he's not going anywhere. William Jackson III. He's a lock. Going to circle him. He's going to be on this 53-man roster. Danny Johnson. I'm not going to circle him, but he's definitely in the mix. Going to put a tally there for him. Cole Luke. That's the guy that I referenced when I just said I don't want Cole Luke as my depth. I told you he's a safety, corner, linebacker, hybrid guy. He could be on his football team, though. I'm not putting a tally down for him, though. Bobby McCain. I'm going to put a tally down for him. The indication is that he's going to be on his team. I'm going to circle him. But there are no guarantees. You guys saw the money, right? You guys saw how little investment they made in him. There are no guarantees. He feels like the safety Sean Davis we signed in the offseason last year, a guy that if he underperforms in camp, he can be cut. I don't think he's going to be cut, though. I think they like him as depth at the cornerback position. I think he's going to make this football team. Torrey McTyer, no. Jimmy Moreland, I'm going to put a tally mark. I'm not circling Jimmy. Jimmy is not guaranteed anything this year, but he is a guy that you look at and say he could be on this football team. Daryl Roberts, I'm going to put a tally mark. I am not circling Daryl Roberts, even though I think they like him and I fully expect him to make this team. I'm not circling him because he's not guaranteed anything, but that's a tally mark. If you're keeping score at home, for me, I've got 8. Okay, 8 tallies and 4 circles right now, 4 guarantees. As we continue through the list, Lyndon Stevens, no. Greg Stroman, I'm going to put Greg down as a tally, even though I don't think he's going to make the football team this year. I think his opportunity came and went last year when he got hurt. However, he's in the mix because of his special teams value that he brings to this team. And so I'm putting a tally mark. I am not circling Greg Stroman. Jordan Brown, no. Jeremy Reeves, I am going to give him a tally mark, and I am going to go out on a limb. I think this might be out on a limb, but I am going to circle Jeremy Reeves. Okay? I think he's going to make this football team. Benjamin St. Juice, not only is he a tally, but he is a definite circle. That goes without saying. William Bradley King as a defensive end. That's a tally mark. There are no guarantees with the 7th round pick, but that's a tally mark for sure. Jalen Jelks. No. James Smith-Williams. That's a tally mark. There are no guarantees with James Smith-Williams. He's fighting for his life on this roster, but he's a tally mark for sure. Montez Sweat, without a doubt. Tally, circle. Okay? Shaka Toney. That's a tally mark for me. Not a circle. He's not guaranteed anything. But I think he's got a really good shot at making this football team. I almost want to circle him, but I'm not going to. Casey Toohill. He's a tally mark, whether you like him or not. I joke about Casey Toohill, and I say all the time, I don't want to see Casey Toohill on the field. They like Casey Toohill, obviously. He's a tally mark. I'm not circling him. He's a tally mark for sure. Chase Young, goes without saying, tally mark and a circle. David Bada is a guy that they've been working with. This is his 2nd year on the roster. He's in the IPP, which is what Samus Reyes was in, the International Pathway Program. He's a guy that Washington has been working with on the practice squad, and he hasn't counted against this roster. At some point, if they really like this guy, he's going to make the team. I'm going to put a tally mark for David Bada. Not a circle, but a tally nonetheless. Jonathan Allen, absolutely a tally, and he's also a circle. Matt Ioannidis, without a doubt, not only is he a tally, he's also a circle. So right now, I'm at 20 guys. All right, we're not even halfway through this 90-man roster that Washington currently has, and I've already got 20 tally marks and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 circles of those 20. So half of the 20 tallies are locks to make the football team. As we continue on, Devereaux Lawrence. Remember, he got snaps for us late in the season last year. So just off of the strength of that, he gets a tally mark. He played in the season for us last year. I don't think he's going to make the team, but he was on the roster last year. So he gets a tally mark. Daron Payne, not only is he a tally, he's also a circle. Tim Settle, not only is he a tally in his last year of his rookie deal, he's a circle. He's going to make this team. Daniel Wise, no. Bo Benshaw is a guy that could potentially make this football team. I won't count him out. I'm not going to give him a tally, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's in the mix. Young guy out of Wisconsin. Wes Martin, I'm going to give him a tally. He's not guaranteed to do anything, but he's going to get a tally mark. Brandon Sheriff, we all know what he represents. Not only is he on this football team, he's a lock. So that's now 25 guys if you're keeping score at home. Dustin Hopkins is a lock to make this football team, and he's a circle. John Bostic is a lock to make this football team, and he gets a circle. Jamin Davis is a lock to make this football team. He gets a circle for me. Cole Holcomb is a lock to make this football team. He gets a circle from me. And Khaleke Hudson is a lock, I think, to make this football team, especially without the depth to make this football team and his special teams contribution. So every linebacker that I just named, essentially, from starting with John Bostic all the way to Khaleke Hudson, all locks to make this football team at the linebacker position. That's the extent of the depth that we have at linebacker. All the rest of these guys, okay, who knows, okay? So then you get into Jordan Kunznick. Have no idea who he is. I'd say no with him. Never heard of him. David Mayo. I'm going to put a tally mark down for him. I'm not circling it, though. Jarrett Norris. Tally mark, not circling it, but that's one of Ron's favorite guys. For special teams purposes, just by itself, he loves Jarrett Norris. He probably a lot, but I'm not going to circle him. Justin Phillips. No. Cameron Cheeseman. Not only is he a tally, he's a lock to make this football team. Going to go ahead and circle him. Samuel Cosme. Go ahead and tally him up and circle him up. Then you get to Eric Flowers. Go ahead and tally him up and circle him up. Then you get to Charles Leno Jr. Go ahead and tally him up, circle him up. Then you get to Rick Leonard. Nope. Trustway. Go ahead and tally him up, circle him up. Kyle Allen. I'm going to tally him. I'm not going to circle him. What did I just do? I'm not circling him because I don't know if this roster is as talented as we think it is. You're going to have to cut corners somewhere. That somewhere could be at quarterback. Now, all signs point to us carrying 3 quarterbacks. And more likely than not, that's how it's going to turn out for this football team this year, is that we carry 3 quarterbacks. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kyle Allen, and Taylor Heineke. More likely than not, that's what it looks like. But if you get into a crunch and you need to snip, 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 somebody off the roster, or you need to cut a corner, not literally a corner, but you need to cut off an edge, smoothing it out, you can say, hey, we good with 2 quarterbacks on the roster. We good. Most teams carry 2. Ryan Fitzpatrick is our starter, and we really love what we're getting out of Taylor Heineke. And Kyle, nobody's fighting us over you. We'll slide you on the practice squad. I don't think anybody's going to snatch Kyle Allen from us. I think he's pretty safe on our practice squad. Same thing with Taylor Heineke if they wanted to do it in reverse. Reverse, 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 whatever. I said all of that to say this. I'm not circling Kyle Allen, but I do give him a tally mark, and I do think he's going to make the football team, but I'm not giving him the vote of confidence, okay? Ryan Fitzpatrick, you can go ahead and tally him up, and you can go ahead and circle him while you are at it. Taylor Heineke, same thing. I would do the same thing I did to Kyle Allen. I'm not going to circle him, even though I think he and Kyle Allen are both going to be on this football team. One of them is going to be on the team for sure. The other, not so much. I think they carry 3 quarterbacks. Just because Allen is coming off of an injury, Heineke has an injury past, and Fitzpatrick is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He doesn't usually go full 16 or now 17 game schedule. So I'd like to think they're keeping 3. You can circle those guys if you so choose. I'm not going to do so, but they're going to make, those guys are going to make this football team. Just understand that. That's why I gave them tally marks. Steven Montez, no. Peyton Barber, tally mark. And I'm not going to circle Peyton, even though I think Ron loves him. I know I got a much stronger affinity for him now than I did before. Last year, this time when we signed Peyton Barber, I'm just thinking, oh, okay, cool dude to bring to camp. He ain't making the team, though, because remember, this time last year, Adrian Peterson was still on the roster, And there was no way we were keeping Adrian Peterson, the rookie running back, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, and Peyton Barber. And Darius Geis. Remember, Geis, I think, was still on the team at this point, too. So there was no space for Peyton Barber. Then the Geis situation comes to light. He's gone. They cut Adrian Peterson to make way for Gibson and Peyton Barber. And really, the Adrian Peterson cut was more about Peyton Barber, I think, than it was. And it was more about clearing out space for Gibson's playing time, not looking over his shoulder, because we know AD wasn't here as a token running back or a veteran presence. He wanted to play. So to create the space, just like you do in basketball, when you want to create minutes for a young player, you get rid of that veteran so that guy isn't looking over his shoulder and you don't have a reason to not play the young guy. You want to clear out minutes for him. You get rid of the veteran that's eating up his minutes so you can play the young guy. That's essentially what we did with Adrian Peterson last year. But also, it was an indictment on AD, like, hey, we also got this Peyton Barber fella that I really like, and we got a role for him on the team. I've never seen a better short yardage back in my life here in Washington. I'm not talking about around the league, because there are other guys that I've seen do what he did for various teams, like Zach Crockett, for the Raiders once upon a time. One of the best short yardage, 1 yard guys I've ever seen. But Peyton Barber was there last year. He was up there as a specialty third and short, fourth and short. He didn't miss a single time last year. Not once. You can't think of one time he didn't get a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1. Not one time. I think he's on the football team, personally. Matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to circle my man Peyton Barber. That's how much I like Peyton. Antonio Gibson, you know what it is. It's Gibby. J.D. McKissick, you know what it is. Tally, circle. Lamar Miller, I'm sorry. I can't give him a tally mark. I don't think he's making the football team. You know why I don't think he's making the football team? Because I think Jarrett Patterson, who I'm going to give a tally mark to, is going to make the football team over Lamar Miller. But don't count Lamar out. I don't think he's making the football team, though. Jonathan Williams, no. Troy Apke, I'm giving Troy a tally. I know some of y'all are like, hey, he's out of here, baby. They got him playing corner and stuff now. I get it. I'm going to give him a tally mark because he's got a shot. 1 or 2 things happen. I'm not speaking them into existence, but you know what I'm saying. All it takes is 1 or 2 things to happen, and Troy Apke's back on the roster. He serves a purpose, guys. You may not love him as a safety, but the man serves a purpose on special teams. Worst case scenario. So I'm not ruling Troy out. I'm not circling him, but he does get a tally mark. Landon Collins definitely gets a tally from me, and I'm going to circle him. I know some of you think he could still get cut. He's not going anywhere, guys. He's going to be on this football team. Cameron Curl definitely gets a tally from me and a circle job. DeShazer, that's my guy. So I may be a little biased here, but not only does he get the tally, he gets the circle from me. Derek Forrest, tally mark. I'm not going to circle him. I'm lying. I'm going to circle him. He's going to make this football team. They didn't draft him to cut him, I don't think. Sadiq Charles, I'm going to go ahead and tally him up, and I'm also going to circle him. They're not cutting a 4th-round pick from a year ago. They're going to keep working with that young fella, even if he can't stay healthy. Cornelius Lucas, that's a tally, and that's a circle job. David Sharp, that's a tally, and that's a circle job. They didn't bring him back. They didn't cut him, I don't think. They could cut him. I don't think they're cutting him, though. David Steinmetz, no. John Bates, that's a tally, and that's a circle job. Dylan Cantrell, no. Tamarick Hemingway, that's a tally. I'm not circling him, but that's a tally. Ron keeps talking about this dude. Do not discount Tamarick Hemingway. Don't do it. Samis Reyes, that's a tally mark. I'm not circling him. I want to, but I'm not. Ricky Seals-Jones, that's a tally mark. I'm not circling him, but they brought him here not just as a camp body. They brought him here to compete. I don't think they know who their 3rd tight end is right now. That spot is open on the roster as we sit here. The first 2 tight end spots are spoken for. All right, with Logan Thomas and John Bates. That third tight end spot is available right now. Anybody can grab it. So Ricky Seals-Jones gets a tally mark from me. Tyrone Swoops, nah. Even though former college quarterback at Texas, similar to Logan Thomas, big framed guy, athleticism, he could be the next Logan Thomas that they're grooming. Don't sleep on Tyrone Swoops. I don't think he's making a football team. I'm not giving him a tally mark. But I'm just telling you, Tyrone Swoops looks a lot like Logan Thomas, for those of you who remember him at the University of Texas. Logan Thomas, of course, tally and circle. Deion Yelder, no. De'Ami Brown, tally, circle. Tony Brown, no. DeAndre Carter, no. Antonio Gandy Golden, tally mark. I'm circling him. You know how I feel about AGG. He's not getting cut in my mind. I could be wrong. He could get the axe, okay? But I'm circling him. Till further notice. Kelvin Harmon, tally mark. I can't circle Kelvin Harmon. I will tally mark him. You can circle Kelvin Harmon if you so choose. I think between Harmon and Milne and Sims is where you're going to find that sixth and final wide receiver. But I'm not going to circle Kelvin Harmon, but he does get a tally mark from me. Adam Humphries, tally mark and a circle. Terry McLaurin, tally mark and a circle. Dax Milne, tally mark. He does not get a circle from me, but he does get a tally. Curtis Samuel, tally mark and a circle. Cam Sims, tally mark, does not get a circle from me, but he could easily make this football team. Steven Sims Jr., I'm a tally mark him, man. We all know he's as good as gone. Isaiah Wright, same thing. I'm going to tally mark him just out of the respect, just like I did with Devereaux Lawrence. Hey, they were on the football team last year, so you can't discount them. Them boys ain't making the roster this year. But I'm going to still give them a tally mark. All right, so that's the last guy. You got Chris Miller on the practice squad as a safety. Forget about him. All right, so let's count it up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 67 guys I have out of 90 currently on the, and it's probably not 90, it's probably like 87 or whatever on this roster. I got 67 guys that could make this team. And you would feel good about 67 of them. Okay? You would feel good. Maybe there are 2 or 3 guys I listed like Troy Apke or Tamarick Hemingway. You're like, nah, I'm good. Or Devereaux Lawrence. So we might be able to trim this down to probably 62 or 60. That's still a lot of guys that you would be okay with on this football team and feel damn good moving in to the season with. Of the 67, let's see how many got a circle that we feel like are locks to make this football team. No, I feel like are locks. Not you. You might have a different opinion than me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So for me, in my mind, 41 of the 53 roster spots, barring any kind of catastrophe, are spoken for. And that number could easily increase to 42, maybe 43, if you count the quarterbacks that I refuse to circle. Okay? That number climbs to 43 if you count, because I didn't circle either quarterback. I didn't circle Kyle Allen or Taylor Heineke. Both of those guys, more likely than not, are making the football team. So that's 43 of the 53-man roster that's probably spoken for. So we're in good shape, man. What I'm trying to tell you, and again, we're not going to play the roster game right now. I just wanted to go through that as an exercise in futility just to show you the depth that we currently have and how good you should feel about this roster, which we haven't been able to say about this team in past years. We haven't been able to say, man, I feel so good that 60 guys, legitimately, and if we cut them, they're going to end up somewhere else. They're going to end up somewhere else. I'm looking around the league, and the guys that we discard, that we cut loose, they're ending up on somebody else's squad, at least getting an opportunity. There were years when we cut somebody, their football career was over. Or they got to go play over in Canada. Okay? That's not the case anymore. We get rid of a guy, he's playing NFL football. We got a legitimate NFL outfit going on here, guys and gals. So, we're doing it the right way, man. I just wanted to point that out to you.
Louie.